Shalom and welcome to 2 Minutes of Torah. This year is entitled An Overview of the Halachot of Hadasim. So we look and see the plant that's called Hadasim, and what are we looking for? So first of all, what's the minimal size? The size is 3 tfachim, which is either 24 centimeters or 30 centimeters, depending on Rav Chaim Naeh or Chazon Ish. One of the key elements of Hadassim is mishulash, meaning that from the branch, 3 leaves emerge on each level, the same height. Now, what does that mean at the same height? So the more stringent opinion holds that it should be leaving each of the leaves, the stem of each leaf, the okets of each leaf should come exactly from the same level out of the branch. And if one is a little bit higher than another one, you have 2 leaves on one level and the third leaf on another level, that's not acceptable. They have to leave from the exact same level of the branch. However, others, including the Chazon Ish, hold that no. As long as the stem of the leaf, the okets of the leaf, they overlap, meaning, let's say, 2 of the leaves are on the exact same level, and the next leaf, the okets, the stem of it is slightly higher, a millimeter, a couple of millimeters higher. But at one point, the stems all intersect and overlap with each other. So they didn't leave from the branch at the exact same point, but the stems all overlap a few millimeters above the spot where the other 2 leave from, so then it is fine. So ideally, it's great to find Hadassim where they all leave from the exact same level of the branch. They all spread out from there. But if the stems all overlap, even if they don't leave, they don't emerge from the branch from the exact same level, that is fine as well. So what do we want? We want Mishulash. And where do we want Mishulash? For the whole shiur. So let's say we're going like Rav Chaim Naeh, 24 centimeters. So you want Mishulash all the way up. And all the leaves, you always have 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, leaving from the branch at either one of those levels that we described, from the bottom of the branch till at least 3 tfachim high. What if you don't have that? So there are those that say you have rove, and there's 2 interpretations of what rove means. The Ravid holds that rove means. So let's say you have the majority of the branch has 2 out of the 3 tfachim is covered with hadassim, it's fine. And even though 1/3 of the branch is not rove, the majority is covered with Hadassim is Mishulash, with Hadassim and Mishulash, and Rove. That's fine, the majority is covered. The Ra'ah actually holds that no. Rove here means that you have 2 out of 3 leaves on each level. And if you have 2 out of 3 leaves, then it's Mishulash. So even though a leaf might have fallen off on each level, you have 2 out of 3, 2 out of 3, 2 out of 3. So that's defined as Mishulash. Now we can rely on those shitas, but the Evid, you want, of course, have a perfect Hadas, and you'd like to have 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, covering the whole area, not just covering rove. But if it's a Shasat situation, so you have the rove of the Ravid, which means 2/3 of it are covered. We have the rove of the Ra'ah, where 2 out of 3 leaves are there. And if you're really stuck, you can have a combination of both shitas, but that's a b'diavad situation, where 2 out of 3 tfachim are covered, and they're only covered by rows of 2 out of 3 leaves. You combine in the shitot, which is not simple at all. One last point is niktam, 2 more points. Niktam rosha, what if it is cut off? The top of the branch is cut off. Some are machmir, but many in the Shulchan Aruch included are makil, because normally the leaves cover up the top of the branch. So it's not noticeable if the top of the branch is cut off. So therefore, maker adin, according to halacha, it is fine. There are those that say the more Muktzah, and others say that ideally you want the leaves covering the whole branch, so that the top of the leaf covers the bottom of the next leaf. It's an ideal halacha. Chazon Ish it's not really something you have to be makbid on, but there are those who are makbid on that, makbid to try to have that. And finally, yavesh. You don't want the leaves to be dried out. Dried out means that You'd like to have it nice and green and fresh. If it's withering a little bit, that is not dried out. That is still fine, acceptable. Dried out means that it lost its green color. And it's so brittle that it would actually just break when you touch it. If you have both of those, it's totally possible. If it still has some green in it and a little brittle, but it's still green, or it is lost all its color, but it's not brittle, it may be all right, but ideally you want it nice and green. And if it's becoming brittle and losing its color, one or the other, ideal to just get new ones for the Chag so you can have a proper, beautiful Hadassim throughout the Chag. So that's an overview of some Halachot of Hadassim. The size, 3 Tvachim, Mishulash, 3 from each level. It has to be precise from same level, or as long as the roots, the okets, the stem overlaps another one. Different opinions on that. You want it to cover the whole 3 Tvachim, ideally. If not rove could mean either 2 out of the 3 Tvachim on the branch, or it could mean 2 out of the 3 leaves. You want the leaves to cover one to another. That's ideal. And Mikra Adin, if it covers the top branch, since it normally covers the top branch, so even if the top of the branch is niktam, cut off, it is still fine. And finally, want it nice and fresh and green. If it withers a little bit, it's fine. But if it's drying out to the point that you don't see the green anymore, that's a problem. Or it's so brittle that you touch it and it falls apart, that's a problem as well. You certainly want to try to avoid it. But the evet, if it's still green and brittle, or it's not brittle but lost its color, but the evet all right, but it should be avoided.